Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
All right, here we
are
go.
once again.
Thursday Night Talks. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness, goodness, goodness. Welcome. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome in, everyone, as we go into our next topic for this evening. If you did not check out last week, you need to go back because we had to kind of pause for a minute for the man of the hour.
That's right.
Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So if you didn't know, go back, NOI.org, and check him out on his 90th birthday celebration. Anyway, I just want to let everybody know y'all can go back and listen to that because I listened to it about 5 times. But anyway, Thursday Night Talks. Here we are this evening. Thank you. Please grab a friend, grab a family member, grab someone to talk about organizing and mobilizing our community is the topic for this evening. My name is Sister Michelle, I'm the moderator for this evening, and I hope that you all will find some benefit from the topic that we have coming tonight and the 2 representatives that are going to help kind of talk about this organization. And I'm not going to give too much away, but before I get too far into it, Sister Kalila, can you please put up the like and share because we're on Facebook and YouTube.
That's right.
Sure. And you like and share 7th Region Coalition, like and share and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Because we all know that, everybody's not on Facebook. YouTube may be a better option for you. So any way you like it, we'll bring it to you both ways. Anyway, I digress. So before we go, also too, we typically do this at the end. But Sister Kalila, is it okay if somebody says, you know what, before y'all get off the air, I want to donate a little something?
Absolutely.
You don't have to wait for that. All of this costs money. And we need your donations, dear family, so that we can keep this going. And
that's right.
We thank you for anything that you could donate so that we could continue bringing to you quality programming that is designed to save lives.
There you go.
And you know what we want to do, Sister Michelle, is give a special gratitude and thank you to all the people who have already donated.
Yes.
I mean,
special shout out.
I mean, we do ask for the donations, but we want to definitely give shout outs to the ones that's already just said, hey, y'all been doing awesome. Here's a couple of dollars. So I am so happy and I thank Allah and I pray that Allah continue to bless you and your families and all of your efforts as we create this opportunity to save lives, Sister Michelle. Back to you.
Ma'am, that's right. So I'm gonna do a ooh, ooh, right to those,
Ooh, ooh.
those that show some love, and those that are going to show some love. We don't want to leave them out too, because
That's right.
we didn't have it, but they may have it this week.
That's right. That's right.
There you go. Either way, all right. So I'm gonna lead us into the next speaker, which is Sister Kalila, because all I have to say is we already said it. Like and share. We're on Facebook and YouTube.
That's right.
And family members, and I like before I say anything else before I go, Sister Kalila, y'all know what to do.
That's right.
Roll down the lane, right? Pick any topic you want. We've had the best of the best.
That's right.
And we got some more that we got to grab, but we got some good topics, some good speakers.
Absolutely.
And always trying to feed. So I'm gonna pass the baton over to you, Sister Kalila.
Yes.
Take it over.
Look, I'm grabbing it. Hey, there you go. I want to first start off in the most holy name of Allah, always bearing witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet my brothers and sisters in the greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. First of all, this is going to be a topic where I will be actually taking notes. The reason why I'll be taking notes because everyone has their own unique, ideas in regards to agriculture. I'm a soldier, so I'm gonna go out and do what it needs to be done. But my fingers have always been brown. I never had a green finger before in my life. But I know that I'm going to need some green fingers momentarily.
Resurrected the dead, huh?
That's right. That's right, Brother Lau. I know I'm going to need them. So this is going to be an educational and informative show for me because I'm telling you, every time I touch something of green, it just turns to brown. So I am going to be taking plenty of notes here and being educated so I can too become a master in the ministry of agriculture, because agriculture is not just farming, but with this particular group of people, they're going to teach us some stuff that it's going to be profound. But again, I'm like Sister Michelle, I don't want to be labeled a point. Like I said, I'm going to be a student tonight. So I'm going to pass the baton to my dear Brother Lau.
Brother Lau.
There you go, Brother Lau.
It's in slow motion, but it's coming.
It's coming.
And we are still running for freedom, justice, equality, and as quiet as it's win. And if you want to be winning, go get your peoples.
That's right.
So I just want to say assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Praise the Lord to my Christian brothers and sisters, to all my Black revolutionaries that tune in, Umgawa Black Power, and to all the peace and freedom-loving people that tune into Thursday Night Talks. We welcome you tonight. And again, a session of learning, a session of growth, literally and figuratively. And we all know that there's so much work to be done. You can't do it by yourself. So the kind of people you want to go get tonight, go get your people that like to organize and work in community work. The kind of people you want to go get tonight, go get those people who know that our unity will solve more than 95% of our problems.
That's right.
The people you want to go get tonight, those people whose brown thumbs you want to turn green.
That's right.
So go get your people. I know Sister Michelle told you to like and share their family. So we're always excited when we can bring on beautiful, dynamic people that are doing beautiful, dynamic work.
That's right.
And we got that for you this evening.
Praise God.
Oh,
Right. So I'm up next.
Oh, you're up
You're
next?
up
I'm just tuning in. I thought Brother Tony was already off and fine.
No.
All right.
That's all
So what I
right.
would do
You passed on the baton with the power of your mind, brother.
well, how about that one? How about specifically now there, brother? Go ahead. I know you don't like to get that baton, but go ahead, brother. Get the baton.
In the name of Allah, the beneficent, merciful, the one God to whom holy praises all forever due, the Lord of the worlds, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for his wise choice and intervention in our affairs, in raising from among us the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ. And I further bear witness, and I am thankful to Allah for the Messiah of Allah's Christ in our midst, the one that is feeding the multitudes with wisdom.
That's right.
The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we need to survive in this hour. The one who is giving us the very tools that we need to cultivate family, community, and nation. I thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Luz Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum, que la paz esté con ustedes. Sak pase, buenos dias, greetings in all of the languages that our beautiful people speak. Welcome to Thursday Night Talks, headed up by the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives, founded by our student minister Patrick Muhammad, who was inspired, and really it was an instruction that he received from the Honorable Minister Luz Farrakhan to assemble us right after the Criterion message back in July 4th, 2020, to spread a message to help save lives to our people. We were warning our people about an inoculation that was highly experimental and still is very experimental and not good for us. And we stand on that truth. And as time goes on and on and on, we find out, lo and behold, that the Honorable Minister Luz Farrakhan was teaching us correctly. And so we will continue to guide our people to safety, guiding them to truth, guiding them to organizational principles that will be oriented and are oriented towards saving lives. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be before you and to be with such a beautiful group that we have here assembled, the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives.
Praises be to Allah. All right, so Brother Tony, let's get started with the ministry.
Let's get started, okay? So tonight, beloved family,
you know what?
Yes. Sister Kalila?
I did not add that ministry.
You didn't add the ministry.
No,
it's all right. I have it right here. I'll just go ahead.
Praises be to Allah. Go ahead.
The Ministry of tonight's focus is going to be the Ministry of Agriculture, and the beautiful couple that we have here tonight. I've known them for quite some time. We'll be introducing them in just a moment. They have been organizing in Phoenix, Arizona, primarily working this ministry, but also other ministries, which we could probably discuss later on in the program. But tonight we're going to be focusing primarily on the Ministry of Agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for the development and maintenance of a system of sustainable agriculture to provide wholesome natural food to the members of society. In addition to food, this ministry is responsible for the production of raw materials required to build homes and manufacture clothing. And so this is one of the 9 ministries developed by the Honorable Minister Luz Farrakhan back in 2005 with in the midst of the Millions More movement, as we are seeking to expand our ministry into these 9 ministries. Tonight, we're focusing, of course, again, on agriculture.
Praises be to Allah. Sister Michelle, read that wonderful bio.
Oh, no. Brother Tony's going to do the introduction. Go ahead, Brother Tony. Go ahead, Brother Tony.
It'll be my honor to read the bio. And mind you, it is an extensive bio, but knowing this beautiful couple, their work far extends what's written here. And so tonight on our program, we have Brother Tremikas and Sister Arian Muhammad, who are part of an integral part, very critical part of the Phoenix Local Organizing Committee. And this committee has been organized since 2015 in the midst of the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March, which was labeled Justice or Else.
Come on.
So that this particular committee, the local organizing committee in Phoenix, has been organizing and mobilizing people of color towards change and self-determination. It states, our goal is to build a global community that is socially connected, economically strong, politically independent, and culturally unified at every level of society. We are a grassroots organization. Wait, I'm going to say that again.
Come on.
We are a grassroots organization. I know these two, their boots are right on the ground organizing with our people. We are dedicated to effectuating change by putting justice within the reach of our Black and Indigenous communities in a way that is fair and equitable. Justice is one of the eternal principles that has been decreed for every living creature. Our mission is to see justice applied equally, regardless of creed, class, or color. You won't find the Phoenix Local Organizing Committee organizing or leading protests. We are not here for the moment. The Phoenix Local Organizing Committee is a movement that seeks to provide sustainable solutions for the problems faced by our community: poverty, racism, and systematic disparity. We partner with the community to bridge the gaps left by a system intent on oppression and apathetic indifference. Our organization relies on a model of specified teams within teams to address the needs of our community. Our team members are provided extensive training in areas that most interest them. We also stringently assess and evaluate the unique skill set of each member to make certain that their skills are best utilized to support the community. We promote leaders from within to ensure that each ministry head has a strong understanding of our core values. Our work, the scope of our work focuses on three areas: coalition building, education, and supporting Black and Brown owned businesses. Because there is a strength in number in the Phoenix L.O.C. seeks to combine forces with other community organizations focused on Black liberation and social justice movements, aimed at improving the lives of people of color. Part of the current coalition work is establishing a community review board for police accountability here in Phoenix, Arizona. We are also working with other Black organizations to form a Black caucus in the state of Arizona to focus on issues affecting our communities. Secondly, we are focused on education. Education is the key that opens the door to opportunities. As Black students continue to be expelled at disproportionate rates, it is important to provide those students with a safe place to learn and thrive. We are currently building a private school for Black students focused on STEAM, STEAM, entrepreneurship, global citizenship, and knowledge of self. Our third priority is creating support for local Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs. We do this through our Cash Mob initiative, which brings community members to local Black businesses to raise awareness that they exist and increase support. The Phoenix L.O.C. also organizes a quarterly pitch night crowdfunding event that allows Black and brown entrepreneurs to present their businesses to the community for support. Each of our ministries has been set up to serve specific gaps. Our programs include creating freedom through farming, buy local initiatives, which helps to boost the economy within our Black and Indigenous community, homeschool support through the pandemic and beyond, and the creation and distribution of community health guides. We also act as a resource for career training, financial education, and legal advocacy. In Southern Phoenix alone, 8,040 residents receive nutrition assistance through the state of Arizona's Department of Economic Security. Over 60% of these residents have at least one dependent child in the household. Poverty limits access to resources and opportunities. We seek to level the playing field. The programs that we provide are helping these residents succeed in the quests for financial independence, stability, and a better life for their families despite the obstacles they may face. And it says here, closing off their bio, get involved just in our fight to create systemic change. Visit our website, and you could go to the website at PHXLOC, that's Phoenix without the vowels, .org. We're going to put it up on our screen in just a moment. Or contact us at justiceorelsearizona@gmail.com. We're gonna provide that information on the screen in just a moment.
Well, we got the real source that we can provide a thunderous round of applause as we bring them up right now, don't we?
Let's bring them up.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
These are hard workers right here, Brother Lyle.
It's a family.
It's an honor and a pleasure having them here on this program.
Listen, I'm trying to be like y'all when I grow up. I promise you, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you. We're going to dive right into it. First of all, I just want you all to just kind of introduce yourselves, and we can just kind of get started, because we have plenty of questions for you, and we just want to dive right on in. So, sister, we're going to start with you because sisters are always first, of course.
That's right. Well, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'm Sister Arian Nicole. I am a mother, wife of 20 years to my husband, Brother Shamikas, and a performing artist. And I am the chair within the Ministry of Arts and Culture.
My name is Brother Shamikas. I'm wearing these sunglasses, like Dr. said, Brother Tony, not because I think I'm cool, but because I had surgery on my eyes with a light bulb. My name is Brother Shamikas Muhammad. I'm the chair of the Phoenix Social Organizing Committee. For 20 years. We have 5 sons together. We've been doing the organizing work here in Phoenix for 8 years. But we have been, myself, have been leading L.O.Cs for the last almost 20-something years. So, happy to be here. Thank you for allowing.
All praises due to Allah.
So, look, we got this beautiful family on here doing this beautiful work. And I don't know if you all can increase your sound some. It sounds like on mine, it needs to be increased a little bit. But it's a beautiful thing when you're doing this kind of work anyway. But to do it as a family, that's a whole nother level. So how about each of you just kind of give us some insight on your path first to the Nation of Islam?
All right. So once upon a time, wow. So path to the Nation of Islam. I was young when I was introduced to the nation. It was by way of my mother. So I was about 8 years old. And she was being introduced to the teachings, and she wanted my friends and I to come in and watch a tape. And we were outside playing, like, okay, we're gonna come in and watch the tape, and people speaking, okay. And so I sat on the couch with my friends, and I think it was shock of the hour. But one of the things that captured me was at the time I wanted to know who God was, right? As a child, I wanted to know who was the person we can come to, for answers to get us out of this condition. Because I was young, but one thing I realized was that we were suffering as a people, right? You can see that in your youth. Through the music, through the reality, of our neighbors and what was going on, having to duck down in the tub, when shots were being fired outside of the apartment, all that kind of stuff, so you just feel, right, the pain. And so watching the tape, I heard something along the lines of God in person. And so I said, oh my God, God's getting ready to come out on stage. I'm young thinking, and so of course, it wasn't in this physical person, but I made up in my mind that I would join the Nation of Islam because I felt like, they knew who God was and that He was with them. So later on, I got registered at the age of 22. So in Flint, Michigan.
I of course also came through the city of Flint, Michigan. At the age of 16 years old, I heard the teaching in high school from one of my peers there in high school, and he was convincing me. I mean, before then, I was gang banging and just being in the streets, a lot of stuff my mother hates to hear, right? But that's what I was doing. And the brother was talking and teaching that young like Muhammad in a class I took. It was a auto shop thing. I didn't take it because I wanted to become an auto mechanic. I knew that if you came to class every day, regardless of the work you did, you would get a D. And I just needed the credit, the 5 credits, so I could graduate. I met this brother, shared the teaching with me, and very profoundly, for me, he had a profound effect on me because I did something to the brother. I don't know without time to get into it now, but I hit the brother. Long story short, uh, because I wanted to see if he was serious. Did he really love black people, right? Or was he just a gangbanger like me? So I took up the heart, brother and sister, to hit him FOI.
That was your introduction, huh, brother?
I knew the danger I was in, but the truth was hitting me too hard. So I decided that I would test him. And the brother, he didn't hit me back. He shook his head and walked out the room, and I felt so low. I felt so bad. I chased him out of the room, and I begged him to forgive me. And I told him that I would do anything he asked. I would come to the mall on Wednesday night. And that Wednesday night, I went to the mall, and the rest was history.
I must say, Brother Jamix, that's one of the most unique stories I ever heard about somebody being introduced to the Nation of Islam.
Praises be to Allah. All right, let's get started. So, I would like to ask the first question in regards to, just first of all, when you're talking about the local organizing committee, you're
And
talking
still
about
going strong.
and still going strong. This was the baby that was birthed from the Millions Man March and the Millions More movement. And like Brother Tony says, still going strong. So when you were talking about the 10,000 Phillies, the L.O.C in Phoenix, can you kind of give me just some detail in regards to your demonstration and why it's so heavily ultracized in the Ministry of Agriculture? And what great successes have you experienced in this area?
Well, I guess I'll start backwards. Right now, we just received some funding take our.
Brother Tramikas, if you could speak a little bit closer into the mic, beloved, we could barely hear you. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah, you gotta alterate that manly voice, brother.
Yes, sir. So I'll start backwards. We just received some funding that's going to help us to take our Ministry of Agriculture to the next level. That's one of our more recent successes. But I think some of the greatest successes that we have had is the fact that we've been able to educate dozens of brothers and sisters who knew nothing about gardening, how to grow food from the seed to the table.
Come on.
We've been able to teach brothers and sisters who don't have, uh, you know, yards. They may live in apartment complexes. How to grow food in buckets. We have a beautiful sister here that heads our Ministry of Agriculture. Her name is Sister Nika. And Sister Nika has helped us to raise up what we like to call an army of growers, where there's men, women, and children who now know how to grow food. We have two community gardens that are up and running. One at a place called Heart and Soil, which is a very beautiful place that's dedicated to women learning how to grow, right? And then we have a garden that's dedicated to the community as a whole, coming and learning how to grow food. So I think that's a huge success for us. We have been doing. I think we've been in the garden now for 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. We've actually been growing food and teaching others how to grow food. So we fed hundreds of families. We've had people that call us and say, "Hey, I'm hungry. I need food in my refrigerator." We can literally stand in the middle of our garden and say, "We got broccoli, we got cauliflower, we got this, we got that. What do you need?" And be able to put that in a bag and take it to you, right? We've been able to feed families here, which is huge. Why did we start with the Ministry of Agriculture? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that we have to learn the wise use of the land. Wise use of the land is to grow food. We didn't want to be an organization that went to, and we do it. We didn't want to be the organization that you necessarily go to the food pantry and things of that nature to get food. But we were looking at to say, how do you teach people how to grow food? How do you teach people how to take $2 and buy a packet of seeds and get some dirt and plant it so that continues to grow? And how do you do that in a way where if I'm growing a cucumber and you growing a carrot and your brother over here is growing green bean, we can exchange that food between each other and we can produce healthy meals for our family.
That's
So
right.
combating food deserts, which everybody's familiar with food
Right.
deserts, but also
Yes, sir.
combating food swamps, which I find most people are not familiar with food swamps. But food swamps is what you see in our community. These fast food restaurants, deserts, and all these fast food restaurants and these corner stores selling us food that's not nutritious and good for our body. So we want to combat that too. There's a lot, sister, that's involved in what we've done. I think our biggest accomplishment has been getting the community, black people. A lot of us, after we left the plantation, didn't want to grow food. We didn't want to go back to the field.
Right.
You know what I mean? So getting our people enthused about growing, I think, is my biggest accomplishment. Yeah, okay.
Brother Tramikas and Sister Arian, obviously, it's not just you two are, of course, members of the Nation of Islam, registered members, but the L.O.C. itself is not just composed of members of the Nation of Islam. Can you speak about your success in being able to work on a grassroots level in bringing in people from the community and to help transform the community using the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but using it in a way, in such a beautiful way, to reach out to our people and actively get them involved in such a noble effort to provide good food for our people?
Well, good food, or like because I'm arts and culture. I can tell you about that.
Yeah.
So Brother Tony, And I'm paraphrasing his words, so please forgive me. But Brother Jabril talked about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in particular with the Million More movement.
Come on, teach,
He
brother.
wanted to open up a way where all of our people could benefit from the great teachings and wisdom that we have. They may not necessarily want to join the Nation of Islam.
Right.
That is not necessarily, what everybody wants to do. But everybody needs to know how to grow food.
That's right.
To be able to educate themselves and so on and so forth. So what we thought and what we tried to do is focus on the broader community, broader community out to be a part of their own salvation, their own redemption, their own growth, their own development, and that we could look beyond our religious differences, our philosophical differences, our ideological differences, and look at the problems that are facing our community. Use our talents and our gifts just to solve those problems. So people talk about food insecurity, food deserts, and all of these things. We don't have to go and ask somebody to do something for us. We can, if I put a seed in the dirt and put water on it and give it sunlight, it'll grow the same for me as it'll grow for any white man on this planet, right? So let's learn how to do that, right? So that's been our focus, and it is caught on like wildfire because our people have a desire to be independent.
Yes.
Come on.
That desire, and y'all Miss Louis Farrakhan is the baddest and wisest teacher on the planet and the greatest guide you can have. So all we have to do is get behind his guidance again and offer that to our people, and they open up their heart and their mind. So,
beautiful.
Praises be to Allah. Praise be to... All right. So I have another question here.
All right, come on, Sister Khalid.
How does the L.O.C. and its activity function as a strong bridge between the mosque and the community? Because we're talking about mobilization, right? We're talking about building mobilization. We're talking about, closing that gap and bridging that gap. But the key word is strong bridges, because, we always have these bridges that they collapse, right? But with the L.O.C. in Phoenix, what are those functioning activities that kind of bridge that gap between the mosque and the community?
Well, the way we've gone at it, sister, is not necessarily to look at it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
The way that we've gone at it, so the principles that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has laid out are universal. The L.O.C. is open for every member of the community.
Right.
In or out of the mosque. So what we've done is just kept the door open. We have not tried to create another mosque or create another religious group or anything of that nature. There is for us, it's just a basic understanding. What is the need of the community?
Right.
Nation of Islam, we are part of the community. It's not like, you go into the mosque, you're talking to the believers, and all of us are gardeners and farmers. If you put most of us in front of a cow, we wouldn't know how to get milk out of it.
At all.
So these are needs of the community.
Right.
So the nation is part of the community. And we are opening up for the community to answer its own needs, and it's a natural place for the Nation of Islam and members of the Nation of Islam to be a part. But we come in as equals. Because I have the supreme wisdom and you don't, that doesn't make me more important than you.
Right.
I didn't know, sister, how to grow food. We didn't know how to grow food. I was watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to grow food. But then my sister came in. She's not in the Nation of Islam, but she knows how to grow food, and she wants to teach our people how to grow. So all the Muslims, all the Hebrew Israelites, all of the, you name it, all of the Christians, all of the Pan-Africanists, all of the nationalists, with all of our great wisdom, we we couldn't grow nothing. She knew how, right? And she taught us how to grow food, and that's how the bridge has been. It hasn't been a concentrated bridge. It's just a bridge that's open for anybody to come across.
Praises be to Allah.
Mm-mm.
And it's so
So I
funny. Go ahead, Brother Lau.
No, I just know that's a beautiful process that was described, and I know you all have experienced this because you've had success. So I don't have a problem asking you to speak on it. When you take that approach, people automatically draw an interest to Islam. People automatically become inquisitive. People automatically become attracted. Could you talk about some of those experiences that you've had?
I feel like I'm doing all the talking. I don't know.
Well, I've had sisters reach out to me for in the spiritual lane, just because they said, "Hey, I want to know what you know. What do you have? To give me some pointers on this or that." And so I would invite them. We'd go out for coffee, and I would tell them and express to them. And from those conversations, they came right on in.
Beautiful.
It's when the minister talks about conversion being an immature type of thinking. When you thinking you're going to convert people, we just show love.
That's it. That's key.
Show love and try to show an example of love. Mr. Louis Farrakhan is an attractive light because he's an example of love, right? So we tried to show that same love, and that love is attractive. It's attractive to our people. Our people want to be part of something that's not filled with gossip, slander, where you can't, you always gotta watch your back, being jealous, all those things. Most of our people have a disconnection even with their own family.
Right?
We're like that.
We become the family.
We become the family. I mean, we don't. There's nothing that the black man and woman is suffering from in the world that we are not suffering from.
That's right.
We like to say we are the community that we serve. It's not a self-righteous type of entitlement. It's just understanding,
right?
Giving something to help us. But also we understand that our brothers and sisters who are not part of the Nation of Islam still have something to offer to help us.
Right.
So there's mutual growth. Yes. There's mutual feeding. There's mutual benefit, right? From our relationship and our love. And then sometimes as a part of that, somebody shows up at the mall and they accept the player's card and they process and they become relationships. Seems like we should get some benefit out of it, right?
Praises be to Allah.
But if I may, Brother Tremikas, see, like we're dealing with methodology on how to make our communities greater, better places, more decent, safer places to live by the building of community. Whenever the Honorable Elijah Muhammad went to a city or sent a minister to a city, or whenever the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan sent a minister to a city, they didn't send them to a mosque, they'd send them to a city. And the first instruction in any city was to make friends.
That's right.
Go out and make friends. We have to go out and make friends, whether they become members of the Nation of Islam or not. We have to make friends in order to help develop our communities and make them better places.
And some people, brother Tony, may not understand this. We don't try to convert brothers and sisters. It's not what we try to do. We don't convert you to truth. It's like we convert you to be a farmer, right? We may convert you to love your brother and sister, but we are not trying necessarily to convert people to become registered members of the Nation of Islam. What we're trying to get you to do is accept your own and be yourself.
That's right.
Already a member of the Nation of Islam. We just don't know it, right? But we're giving you the best example that we can give And in that example, if you got some questions, we'll answer them. But you know, brothers and sisters, we don't spend a lot of time trying to convert people to becoming Muslim. It's just not our goal. Our goal is unity, independence, self-reliance, liberation of our people, right? I don't know.
Well, I think it goes back to being there, being a torchlight.
Yeah.
It goes
Mm.
move more movement. But the minister was saying, can we all come together with our different hats on, but under the same umbrella?
Yeah.
Mm.
Going out to do.
And it reminds me of when the Honorable Ali Muhammad told the minister to go and find the talented of our people and bring them to Chicago to him
Right.
to help save a nation. Right? The minister went into New York and he went and found all the talented brothers and sisters and put them on a plane and he brought them to New York and he expected John Elijah Muhammad to lay out the business of the nation. But the messenger of Allah didn't do that.
Right.
Minister Louis Farrakhan said in Closing the Gap, he was giving him a sign
Mm.
of future work, right? So the talent, the skill, the gifts of our people, that's what we're after.
Mm.
For the development. I mean, we've been at this for 400 years. We've been at this for 400 years. So when we talk about the development of a nation, that's what with the L.O.C. we understand. The L.O.C. is the foundational cornerstone in this modern time of the development of the nation. And the 9 ministries are governmental ministries that are designed to be developed to help serve the needs of a nation of people and act as a government over our people. So you know that's a different kind of mindset, right? Of what you're going to invite to the table and how you're going to treat what comes to the table, right? We're very careful. I'm just trying. What I'm trying to say, we're very careful because we don't want somebody to think that we trying to sneak backdoor them into the nation of Islam. That's not what we try. That's not what we're trying to do.
Right.
That is all praise to do to Allah. What we're trying to get you to do is to get up off your raggedy behind.
Our behinds are raggedy too.
You know what I mean? So, excuse me, saying raggedy behind.
Nigger bill.
Right. Exactly. Niggerville.
So let me ask, as an LOC, the strength that you have in agriculture is definitely apparent in the traction there. Are there other areas that you're concentrating on with the LOC? Other areas that you see that are having success or something you think that could be duplicated elsewhere?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Ministry of Arts and Culture, we have a monthly platform. We didn't talk about the fact that we set up a bookstore. And it's for the community. So we have a bookstore which serves as a venue for a lot of things that we want to do in the community. So it's very important for us to have our own venues because you can't get in these other venues talking that strong talk, the way we want to talk and the way we want to talk to each other. So a bookstore is the perfect space and the perfect place. So with the Ministry of Arts and Culture, we have what is called the L.O.C. Tiny Cafe. Because it's a cozy space, we come and we perform. It's a hip hop and poetry platform, and so it's a powerful platform, and we incorporate conversation based around the issues that affect our community. So now you're able to come and talk, right, and be able to hear a high form of expression. I'm an artist. I close out the show because we want to make sure that the music is in, the message is in the music, and we have themes so that the poets, they know what we're talking about for this month. So you can take your pens and cater to the subject matter. And so we do it every last Friday of the month. The collective that puts it on is we form what is called the Artist Collective. So it's those artists who want to commit ourselves to the uplift of our people in our community by way of pledging, right? That we will do this and dedicate our art to our community and our people. So it's directly tied into ending the exploitation of our talent by outside forces. There is an acronym for the Artist Collective. So I've broken down artists to reflect a revolutionary transformation in society through sound. So that
Like
is,
your Harlem Renaissance on steroids.
and so that, you know, we can make a conscious decision that we're going to help in the process of resurrection, you know, universally, right? Because music is universal. So we have that going for us every month, and have a few studio options that we can work out of. We're building a production studio of our own, and it's just really, you know, I find joy in bringing the minister's vision for us to life step by step. We're still growing, and then we have an annual hip hop festival, which
Ooh.
we're bringing our brother Tony in for.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so that we can drive the point home even more about the ending of the exploitation of our talent. You got to have an industry, right? You got to start traveling city to city. We have to support our artists and give our artists a platform, because we do the creative well, right?
That's right.
But we need those executive minds, those investors. You want to see our people free? We have crazy talented people, conscious, you know, in hip hop, and the way we translate the life-giving teachings, or the way, you know, we hip hop is a resurrecting force. That's what it's about.
Teach below.
It's a resurrecting force. And so we want to bring everybody around to, and this is a member of the Artist Collective calling up. We're working, you know, the brothers, you know, we come on board, and it's working cheerfully, right? Even though everything is falling down around us in the old world, you'll find us working cheerfully for what's to come next, because we don't believe in a mystery God. So that's what I'm just happy, you know, to be involved in the Ministry of Arts and Culture, and to have this annual festival. It's on August 11th.
Okay.
Official birth date of hip hop.
That's right.
Okay.
I don't want to get Brother Tony started, because we'll take this over.
Right.
Hip hop and culture.
We are in the 50th year
Yes.
of the official birth anniversary of hip hop, and so this is a very critical year. We see in the commercial expression of hip hop, or rap, if you will, so much exploitation. Things have not gotten better; they've gotten worse. So, as it was in the early beginning, the Nation of Islam, in our expression, it was found in the music from the 70s into the 80s into the 90s. But at a certain point, there was a intentional cutoff from its original roots. It should be our intention as members of the Nation of Islam to bring it back to its roots and bring life to the very culture that we absolutely love. And so, Sister Aaron, Brother Tamikas, I look forward to that experience, and build on that experience.
We can't wait to get you here, bro.
All praises due to Allah.
I want to shift gears a little. Go ahead, brother. Tamik, you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted, because you talked about things that, and this is important enough, because you talked about things that can be done in other cities. So the Ministry of Arts and Culture, that's one aspect. But then we have the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. The Ministry of Trade and Commerce, one of our primary things is called the cash mob. So those of us who are not familiar, a cash mob is when you identify a Black or indigenous-owned business in the community, and you rally the community around that and generate thousands of dollars. You know, we've had people to say, "Hey, we've been open for several years. We've never made this much money." We have people say, "You paid our rent, and you've gotten us the supplies that we need for the next month or two." Right? So these cash mobs are a critical component. I think that should be done in every city.
I agree.
Cash mob, we developed a business education platform where last year we took local Black-owned businesses and connected them with a bank, and we showed them what they needed to become bankable, from accounting to taxes to marketing, all of those things, educating Black business. So we do things in a way, and we got this small little piece out, like the cash mob, but we're building something bigger behind it. We started up again. We'll be doing the barbershop discussion. So those of us who know Captain Dennis are familiar with the barbershop discussion. The barbershop discussions open up an opportunity for us to have dialogue in our community for the Phoenix L.O.C. That dialogue is about the non-ministry. It's about the work we do, and it's about brothers and sisters. We talk about, we ask everybody what the problem is. Then we ask them what they think the solution is. Third, we ask them, what are you willing to do? What are you do to affect the solution that you just mentioned, right? So it's an opportunity for us to bring people in and be a part of the work on that level. There are many, many initiatives that we have that are small on the surface, but have a huge, kind of like the tip of the iceberg. But these things can be repeated in other cities. Now, one of the major things we've done, Brother Lau, to me, is that we've taken the work and we've structured it. So I can literally give you a manual. Because I want to know how you do it. I can give you the manual and hand it to you, and you can follow the manual, and you can use that manual to develop the L.O.C. in your city with some of the key things that we talked about to help give you a strong L.O.C. So we tried to make the Phoenix L.O.C. like a model that you can take, and you can take that model and put it in any city and be just as effective. We can be effective in Phoenix, where we just got to be about maybe 6 or 7% of the population in terms of Black people. Of Arizona. What can you do with cities like Chicago and Detroit? And you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We tried to create a model. So I thank you for that question, brother. That's a big question for us.
Well, brother and sister, speaking of creating a model, I know for a fact there are many, many husband and wife teams within the nation and without that attempt to do community work together. So some do's and some don'ts from some folk who do it oh so well.
That's a beautiful question.
That is a beautiful question.
That is an awesome question.
Look,
Yeah, they're looking at each other right now.
I'm starting to write now. I am starting to write now.
So the do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts. Let's have them.
The do's and don'ts of like being a couple doing movement work together.
First of all, don't mess over the sisters, brother.
Come on.
That's right.
The sisters. That's number one. That's number one.
We getting a real manual here, y'all.
That's number one. I think that
well, with my I have expressed this to the members of the Phoenix L.O.C. before. I am sharing my husband with the community. And so and being supportive in that. I signed on to the vision and the mission, so I understand. But you do have to share. You have to sacrifice.
That's right.
But so the love has to be between you and your spouse, but it also has to be deeply for the mission. You know, so you can be supportive with it. You have to want it just as much.
And you have to find ways. You have to find ways that allow you to be a couple inside of the mission. In other words, you know, I'm not an artist. You know, but I'm not an artist. But I have to make sure that my wife has room for her artistic expression. I have to be careful that her greatness is not sacrificed in supporting me.
My God. Rewind.
The sound went down when you said that, brother. For some reason. You say that again, brother.
Not going on to say that again.
Say that again, brother Tremicus.
For the people in the back.
We have to be careful that my wife's greatness is not sacrificed in supporting me. So yeah, I got purpose and I'm a reflection of Allah and all these beautiful things, but she is too.
That's right.
So you have to make room for that, right?
Yes, sir.
I think, and let me tell y'all something what's so beautiful about this woman. I was talking to her one day. You know, the lessons say that the Muslims were very poor.
Right,
Come on.
right.
Only the lesson said
I
it.
don't know. That part of the lesson is one of the truest things you've ever read, right? But I was asking my wife, how come you never asked me for new cars and diamond rings and all these wonderful things that you deserve? She said, did you know what she said to me? She said, I never wanted my desires to interfere with the work. So
That is sacrifice.
it has to be an understanding of the type of sacrifices that are being made. Because I'm making sacrifices, but she's making almost a bigger sacrifice.
Right.
Because she doesn't get, she gets like between the meeting, right? When we get done with this interview, I gotta go to another meeting. So recognize that and try to make sure that we do everything we can to honor each other in that way, recognize each other in that way, consciously and on purpose. I think
No, you said. You said. No, you said.
and we're friends. You gotta have a
We're
good.
friends.
You gotta be friends. And I have a wonderful sense of humor, and my wife is able to.
I bear witness to that.
She's able to deal with that, but you gotta be able to laugh with each other,
Right.
There's some tense moments. There's some moments where, and we talked about this before. Sometimes the problems that are affecting our household are not even problems in our household.
Wow.
You got DJ. You got DJ.
Listen, I'm spinning it. I'm spinning it for the Ministry of Agriculture. Listen, you got to say that again because that's real. That's real.
That's real. Sometimes the problem. You got me. I got to write a note down.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you. I'm spinning it back because listen.
Problems that are affecting our household, our relationship, our marriage are not even our problem.
Not even our problem. I was just talking to my mom, and I was like, I heard that it's a sin to take on other people's burdens.
Wow.
It's sinful. That's why it says in the Quran and it says in the Bible that we pick up our own cross. It never told you to pick up his cross or her cross. It's their cross to bear. That's why it says in our teachings that God would not put on you a burden beyond your scope. And that's why that's why you say most of our problems, they don't have nothing even to do with us. Why are we taking on these problems? Why are we arguing amongst each other? And this has nothing to do with us.
And we don't argue.
Oh, let's talk about that.
We have disagreements.
We have disagreements, but we don't argue.
Now, hold on. Now, break that down for the people that that really don't know the difference between a disagreement and an argument.
He ain't never hit me in the head with a pop.
All right. Amen.
We have things that we disagree on.
We don't raise our voice.
We don't raise our voice. We talk about what our disagreement is. It may not even mean that we reach an agreement. What we try to do is reach an understanding. Right? Reach an understanding. This is important to us. In our relationship, I don't even. It's just not what we do. No arguing. I couldn't imagine cussing my wife. I couldn't even imagine how that would feel for her to do that. I'm not judging anybody.
No. I understand.
I'm saying that's how we choose to try. Okay.
But that's what our teachers are. Yeah, that's what our teachers are. Our teachers are, we argue in the best of manners. We quarrel in the best of manners. And if your manners are not good, then you have to think 5 times before you speak. And maybe you will be right. It don't even say you'll be right. It say maybe you're gonna be right. So sometimes you got to be quiet and just kind of shut it down for a minute, and then come on back, and then just do it again. And maybe you'll be right this time.
If I'm crazy, I want to know. I want a reason, but I want to put it up against the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, his logic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me, okay, am I off or am I on? That's all I
See, and the beautiful thing, you're branching it into the teachings. You're saying, hey, let's pencil this and dive into the teachings. And what's best for the both of us is truth and facts.
Facts.
Facts ain't no arguments, ain't no quarreling, ain't no, yeah, we disagree because we're different people. Different people disagree, right? So that's going to happen, but it's how you disagree. And I'm glad that you brought that up, sister, brother. I applaud you all. I'm gonna be like y'all when I grow up. I am.
We've been working on it, sister. They ain't been Yeah, 2 decades.
2 decades. I'm in the first decade. In the first.
Beautiful. You definitely are examples of not only the work on self and the work on family, but how using those principles in the community could also work.
That's
Now,
right.
I had one last question, because a lot of our communities, particularly when it comes to members of the Nation of Islam getting involved, there's a lot of, let's just say, things that have to be cleaned up, because let's say the folk before you might not have done it with those kind of principles. So
Right.
give us some cleanup instructions for those who are doing community work and have relationships that need to be cleaned up to be rebuilt, so that the strength of an L.O.C. or those type of tasks could be done without the baggage of yesteryear.
Well, I like the way you started by saying that if we use the principles that we use in our marriage in the community, and then something that we do on Tuesdays, which is deliberative dialogue. That study has been so phenomenal. We get on that line and we crack atoms and we clear words, and so we can start learning how to reason with each other. We have to reason with each other. And for me, and then us in general, of course, being in the nation, we're taught that you forgive. What is it, 70 times 70? 70
Yeah.
70 times 7.
Right, 70 times 7.
And to live that, you really have to, this is a work where you have to apply what it is we believe in. You have to, or we won't survive. And so, when you take what's at stake with our people in our nation, we are reaching for principles to help all of us together, so that deliberative dialogue is a key tool. I will point to that.
I agree with that. We when we talk about deliberative dialogue, we're studying lawful deliberative dialogue with the community, right? To learn how to communicate with each other. But I will also add the principles of forgiveness. We have to be able to forgive.
Oh, Lord.
And forgive our people for their ignorance, right? You take the way of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the minister's way is different from anybody. If the average black person had the power that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had, it would be a lot of dead people just for saying the wrong thing to you, right?
Right.
Being able to take plenty, right? Operating with integrity, operating with honesty with people, trying and doing your best to be transparent with people, not coming with the hidden agenda, being able to apologize when you're wrong, right? Sometimes we can be a little arrogant, right? In how we move, and not being willing to, he's the lost factor type of language, right?
Right.
We have to be humble with our people and being able to apologize when we're wrong. My wife always laughs at me because I say, you gotta be careful because the Muslims try to take over, right? Being able to recognize other people's talents and their gifts and their skills and not dismiss it because they're not in the law. I mean, the man has a PhD. He's a doctor. He's a surgeon.
Right.
So being able to recognize other people's gifts and skills, and but I don't know how to describe it. It just kind of the proper handling of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's recognizing that when you look at our brothers and sisters, you're looking at God.
That's right.
That is an expression of God. How do you treat that expression of God? Do you mistreat that expression of God because they eat pork, or they may smoke a cigarette? Now you dismissing the person as being something less than because their sin is in front of you. When all of us are sinners.
That's right.
That I would say too. Recently, or what I've been striving to do was to, if there's a grievance, to address it directly, address it together.
Definitely.
We all got to get on the line and talk it out, because there'll be no holding it in and then talking to the next person about what so and so did. You know what I mean? You have to cut it off right in the very beginning and confront it out of love, so we can keep the circle together.
We have one rule in the L.O.C. One rule: it's against gossip. Organizing committee, if you found gossiping, we would kick you out. One rule.
Come on.
We encourage, we push for brothers and sisters. If you have a problem with one another, settle your differences.
Beautiful.
Get down and talk. What's the problem? If you need a mediator, call on somebody to be a mediator. But do not let problems fester. Try to solve the problem. And sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes you got to have a very difficult conversation with people.
Right.
Yes, sir.
We try to build up what we do on that idea. Let's solve the problems that we may have with one another. We can move forward as brothers and sisters.
And acknowledging when you're wrong. I did that recently. I'm like, oh, I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we build on the family principle. We build on the principle of family and love. So, it's not perfect. I don't want to paint anybody the picture that we're perfect. Black people are black people.
Right.
But we want, that's one of our L.O.C. members right now. Thank you, Brother Gaskin. Love you, brother. Anyway, we try to build on the principle of family, build on the principle of love in a very sincere and honest way. And hopefully God will bless us to perfect.
Brother Tremikas and Sister Arian, what would you say are some of the greatest success stories, just some of them that you've been able to establish as an L.O.C.?
Would you say that the
okay, we talking.
I myself, if I could give a testimony, I've been to the bookstore there in Phoenix. And it is phenomenal. It's like a gathering place for different people of different walks of life there.
The bookstore, that's been a success. The gardens are a success. Our cash bombs have been a success. Our becoming bankable business development, that was a success. We didn't talk about, we're working on it, but we did a summer school program where we brought our babies together and we taught our baby in our first summer school program. I think it was right after the pandemic, right after that, we're going to be revisiting that again.
Yes, sir.
The Tiny Desk Cafe is a success. The August 11th annual hip hop, this is our third annual. That's a success.
There's one success you all forgot. Every once in a while, I got to talk to the Muslims like real straight. The one success you all forgot is that your local organizing committee still exists.
That's right.
Now, to all you brothers and sisters in all these cities across the United States of America and even across the pond, and your LOCs are stagnant, defunct, or not active, you now have been plugged back into a lifeline. That is a tremendous success, I must say, family.
There's an
Praise
inspiration to us all.
And you know, just a shout out since we shouting out and stuff. I want to shout out our L.O.C. in Jacksonville.
Come on.
Sister, look, sister, listen. Our sister, I call her Queen of Sheen.
I know Sister Sheen.
She's be in the byways and the highways, and I mean, when I say this sister be on it, she be on it. You know, she ain't taking no for an answer. She is the 10,000 feelings in one. You hear me?
That's right.
And she brings the, you know, vanguards with her. Shout out to Sister Ashley. Shout out to Sister Tashana. Shout out to Sister Angela. Sister, you know, Tia. You know, Sister Farah. All of these beautiful sisters, they get out there and they go to work. They're happy. They're looking at feeding the people, giving them information in regards to how they can protect themselves in this time of war that we're currently in. So I gotta salute my L.O.C. to Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I'm from. Jacksonville, Florida, L.O.C. I appreciate the sisters. I love these sisters. Oh, and our dear brother Mark be going hard in the paint for our sisters in the L.O.C. So shout out to our L.O.C.
And Sister Cleveland, I'm glad you brought that point up. I just want to say to the brothers,
come on.
We do community work.
That's right.
I tell you, brothers, in every place we go, in the forefront, on the battlefield.
That's right.
Our people in most places are the sisters. And I commend our sisters. I'm happy to see our sisters out doing the work that they're doing. But brothers,
come on.
We have got to step up to the plate. And men, we have to take our position to lead in this fight, right? And not in a way that's chauvinistic that pushes our sisters to the back. Just like you can see me and my wife working side by side. That's how we have to be in the community, brother.
That's
working
right.
on behalf of our families, our children. We cannot. Brother Gaston wants me to mention the weekend food giveaway.
Come on.
That's right there.
But we want to have brothers out in the forefront, brother. We got to take charge.
That's right.
Not to move and organize our community. I'm talking to a group of brothers right now, Brother Tony, in Phoenix. At the end of the year, we want to do an event that's titled Where Brothers Become Uncles.
I like that.
With their sons. And there'll be activities that day, but the major activity is for us to get to know each other as brothers and for us to become trusted companions in brotherhood, that we now, wherever our sons are, we are looking out for each other's sons. So when they see that's Uncle Lyle, when they see you, that's Uncle Tony. We get an atmosphere where black men come back to the forefront in the fight for our people. It can't just be the strong brother in the Nation of Islam. It has to be this spirit of warriorship.
That's right.
Turns to black men, because if the enemy sees our women out fighting and we're not out there with them, they want to have respect for us.
That's right. That's right.
Our kind has made it clear to us the hallmark of the strength of the black man is that he's the backbone of his nation. So I want to appeal to my brothers, wherever you are. We're doing a call here in Phoenix to black men. I know you want to go to the cigar bar. I know that's where you want to. I know you want to go to the brunch and the barbecue and all that wonderful stuff. You want to be at the wine bar, brother. We need to be in the streets.
That's right.
Control and command of our community as the fearless warriors that we are, as the soldiers that we are, and establishing ourselves as the leadership in our community. That's what needs to happen. I don't want to keep going to these meetings and these rallies, and all I see out there is black women and a few brothers. We can't allow that, brother. I'm appealing to you as brothers. We have to stand up for our community, for our women, for our children. They're waiting for it, they're looking for it, they're begging for it, they're pleading with us, but they're also rooting for it. If we step up, brother, trust me, they will step up and get behind us and support us and make sure that we're successful in everything.
Praise.
That's an exclamation point for you.
See, you always putting in work, getting behind, getting in front, getting on the side to make sure that we're successful. But brothers, we got to step up too. We got to take leadership.
That's right.
Praises be to Allah.
So beautifully said. Such a great example.
You know, it's so funny. I'm okay. So what we do is do a segment called the Tree of the Week.
Tree of the week.
Okay, it's the tree of the week.
It fits right into the agricultural.
It does. It does, but it's only half of the agriculture. And then listen, it's my ignorance. I'm telling you, it's my. Because every time I think about agriculture, I think about trees and plants and bushes and farmland and all that stuff. Sis, that educated me, girl. You can get singing, it's rapping, it's you know, it's music too, girl. Kalila, girl, know your 9 ministries. So that's my ignorance. It is. I confess my faults. I listen. Like you say, when you wrong, you got to say, you got to stand on it. So I'm gonna put it on up there, you know. First of all, it's the tree of the week. It's the tree of the week. So our tree of the week today is actually.
Come on, Sister Kalila.
The benefits of gardening, and physical.
Look. Mm-hmm. This one now gonna be all for you, brother. This is, but I want to dive into it because I deal a lot with mental and physical, and so it really gave me an eye opener because I do want to farm. I do want to grow things in my. I had a big backyard that is just not being even touched. Besides with a rake and with a lawnmower, it's nothing else. It's just in a tree that my husband's trying to cut forever. And I said, no, don't cut the tree. That's the tree of life. Don't cut the tree. So, but that's our quarreling, right? But I want to be able to learn and grow, you know, as it relates to growing things too. So I looked at it on a mental level, right? So the way I came up with the mental level is the benefits of gardening on a mental and physical level is gardening can build self-esteem. Absolutely. And I thought about that. I say, well, you know, I say, if I grow something and it starts growing, I'm gonna think I'm the bomb. I'm sorry. I'll be like, God, I'll be all on Facebook, all on Instagram with my plant on my shoulder. Y'all see it? You know, my cucumber. I cut my cucumber, girl. I'll make my own salad, baby. You know what I mean? I don't need Publix no more, and all these old. It will build up my self-esteem. So I can definitely see that. Gardening also is good for your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're working.
Because you're working. and it's a heart-filled contribution to not only yourself, but also to your community as well.
That's right.
You know, gardening also reduces stress. When you're out there, you could be thinking of, you could come out there before, you know, you stress, but you can depress in your garden.
Come on.
I love that. Gardening can also make you happy. Listen, just talking about it right now, I'm happy. I'm ready to put something in the ground.
We can't tell one bit.
You really?
When you go into the garden and you see, lo and behold, my tomatoes are growing.
Listen,
avocados are coming out.
Brother Tony, I promise you, nobody cannot tell me nothing if I plant something and I grow something and I eat it.
Come on.
Oh my God. Yeah, it would definitely make me happy. It would definitely make me happy because I'll be living the teachings. You hear me? So it would definitely make me happy. Gardening can improve your hand strength.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, because you're constantly, you're right. You're constantly, even if you're in the soil, you're picking whatever.
Arthur can't find no home.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So this is a beautiful thing. So all these so-called arthritis brothers and sisters, get out there and get you a garden. All right. All right. Gardening is good for the whole family. So not only it's for me, I can bring my daughter in, I can bring my mom in, I can bring my husband in, and we can build a garden together. And this is gonna be the family garden. My husband, I promise you, I give a shout out to my husband. When we first got our house, he tried it. He did. I think my husband planted some stuff. It ain't taste good, but it did. He did plant and it did grow. I think the cucumbers were really good, but it was some other stuff that looked kind of foreign. But I did eat it.
Then you messed it back up.
I did, but I ate it because I love my husband, and I know that I did eat it.
Big
though.
Shout out to Brother Sean.
Brother Sean coming through with the 1 and 2. But I loved him and I ate it. I didn't eat all of it, but I did eat it. Okay, with a whole bunch of ranch dressing. Okay, so
more ranch dressing.
All right, Sister Cleveland, take that airplane back around. One more scoop for that landing now.
Okay. And last but not least, gardening can give you a boost of vitamin D. The minister already taught us, go and bathe in the sun.
Right.
And what beautiful way to produce something of your own, include your family, and get a burst of what Allah has given us, and that's vitamin D.
That's right.
Natural vitamin D. Right. And that is our tree of the week.
Beautiful. We have the tree of the week. We got the tree of the week with this beautiful family. We got the L.O.Cs being stimulated all back across the nation again.
That's right.
I think we had a successful evening there, family. Yes. Praise be to Allah.
If I could put up the contact information once again. Here is the website to the Phoenix L.O.C.
All mosque and study groups.
That's right.
Get in contact with our brother and sister. You know how we say it's all right to be a copycat, as long as you copy in the right cat.
That's right. I love that, brother. No. I love that, brother Lau.
Well, I can't take credit for the quote, but I can sure take credit for copying the right cats.
Right. That's right.
That's right. So
you could contact the Phoenix L.O.C. right here at Justice or Else Arizona at gmail.com. Get in contact with our brother and sister. They will help you in establishing your own LOC or any kind of community organizing in your local area.
Yeah.
And Brother Tony, I must say this because we have brothers and sisters that tune in and check us out who are not from the mosque.
Right.
You go to the mosque.
That's right.
To the study group and ask them where the local organizing committees.
That's right.
Get involved.
Right.
You go do that, family. All right.
That's right. Okay. Last but not least, closing remarks from our guests.
I love how Brother Tony gets over to Gary and wait for her to speak first. Yeah. I love that.
So I love to thank you all for giving this opportunity to share the work of these ministries. There are 9 ministries. We have about half of them active working, and don't forget Grassroots Hip Hop Festivals. Open to the country. You watching, from a different mosque or a different city, come on down. Grassroots Bookstore. Follow me, Sister Arian Nicole. ArianNicole. You'll see me. Instagram, Facebook, and let's talk about the Grassroots Hip Hop Fest.
You have to send us a flyer so we can put it on our Facebook page.
Okay. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, just email us and we'll put it on the Facebook page.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right.
And I want to say the same, just to echo my wife. Thank you all for bringing us on, allowing us the opportunity to share the work that we are the face of right now. There are many, many, many brothers and sisters who are part of this work that make what we do look so attractive. So I want to thank you on their behalf. And again, we just want to invite people to follow us, brothers and sisters to follow us, the PHX LOC, Phoenix LOC on all social media platforms. Follow us, follow our work, support our work. If you want to donate to our work, that's also on our website, phxloc.org. But most of all, the most important thing for us is that if you hear what we're saying and you want to do it in your city, email us, reach out to us so that we can talk about how we can make this happen in every city. The LOC has to come back alive in every city so that we can help our people to achieve separation, independence, self-governance. The time, brothers and sisters, if you look at what's happening, we're witnessing the fall of America. And we don't want to be caught in America's fall. We want to have something built and established for ourselves. So please, please reach out to us. And again, we can thank you all for allowing us to be on the show to share some of the work that we do.
Praise be to Allah. You are tremendous examples for our nation and a great, great light for our community.
All right, Brother Loud, take us away.
Well, family, you know how we say here, you know, we're not a gang or a clique or a crew. And you do know that we love you,
Lyle.
right? But we are